Next up on Sightseeing Sally's Mystery Science Theater 2010. Oh wait, we're in 2020. 2020, we've got the mysterious happenings of the underwater sea creature that leaves its shells and coral behind in the woods. Hey sightseers, Marty and I are out on a little bit of a nature walk. We're actually looking for wild asparagus, or at least looking for spots that may indicate wild asparagus is growing. It might be just a little bit too soon for the actual shoots to be up themselves, but we're kind of looking to scope out some spots so that when it does come up, we have the first dibs on it? Right, Marty?
Yep.
Yeah, cause
free food.
free food, yeah. Cause wild asparagus is one of those things that is highly coveted, and so you gotta be quick on the make when it comes to that. As we were walking along, we noticed these plants with these green, shiny leaves and red berries. So Marty looked them up, and it appears from the website that we were looking at that this may be wintergreen growing here. We're not botanists, so we don't know for sure. If anybody else knows, let us know in the comments section below. I personally am hoping it's not poison ivy, because I'm one of those people that still, after all these years, does not know what poison ivy really looks like. Are you tasting that? Alright, so Marty's tasting berries now. If he ends up in the ER later, it's because he was eating something poisonous. I'm going to tell you right now, that was not my idea. I would never taste test berries I didn't know what they were out in the woods. Just saying. If you look over here, you can see this type of, it's a creeping type of, I want to say it's like a fern, maybe? Like I said, I'm not a botanist, so I don't know my plant identification, but I do know it is really cool to see it growing up here in amongst the dead leaves and the remains of snow. And of course you got a little bit of moss growing there too. Did you spot any evidence of asparagus yet?
Not yet.
How about ticks?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's getting to that time of year where we're going to have to start worrying about ticks. Especially because this past winter wasn't very cold. I don't think very many ticks got killed off, so I have a sneaking suspicion that this year we're going to have a bumper crop of ticks crawling around in the woods. Well, it would appear we're not the only animals and creatures moving about these days, enjoying the warmer weather. Looks like the snakes are starting to come on out too. Hey little buddy, I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. Yeah, this time I saw him ahead of time, so I didn't scream like a little baby. Milkweed. I loved playing with this as a kid. You let it and then throw it in the air and it just like floats away. Hey? Look, there are some salamanders and what looks like a tiny little snake hanging out underneath the bark. So the little creature to your left is a salamander, and then I think there's a little snake, type of snake I haven't seen before. I'll check that out. I stand corrected. That little guy isn't a snake, it's a salamander. It's a type of salamander I've never seen before with the red and the black. I've always seen the black with the blue spots, but never anything with the red stripe.
Like that one or that one?
Yeah. This one is the one I thought was a snake, but it's a salamander. We're going to put the wood back on top so that they stay moist and hidden. Wow, that was really super cool. I've never seen anything like that before. Obviously, I mistook it for a snake, but that was cool. You never know what you're going to find when you're out in the forest or out in the woods. What a lovely day it is, isn't it? Well, it looks like we've discovered our first patch of wild asparagus, or at least where we should be able to find wild asparagus here as soon as it starts popping up.
Well,
Marty's gonna
asparagus.
show us that. That's what you need to look for if you're out searching for wild asparagus, are the dried up stalks. So now that I mentioned ticks, I'm starting to feel my skin crawl like they're crawling all over me. That's the thing about talking about ticks, is psychologically then I start feeling like they're on me even though they're not. Does anybody else have that issue? Let me know. Let me know if I'm the only weirdo out there or if I'm not alone. Found something interesting growing on this stump on top of the moss. I'm pretty sure these are the remains of puffball mushrooms, which if you've never seen a puffball dried up before, if you squeeze them, their spores release into the air. See? Looks like little puffs of smoke coming out of them, but that's their spores coming out. So if you look straight ahead there, you can see some of the pine trees there that are curved, slightly bent over. That would mean that one of those microbursts came through and touched down in this part of the forest. If you don't know what a microburst is, Google it, look it up. It's something I've been talking about over several of my videos as something that happened up here in the Northwoods, Wisconsin last summer. We had a couple of really bad, severe storms that hit, and people thought tornadoes had touched down. Actually, it turned out to be what they call microbursts. If you ask me how to describe it, I'm not a meteorologist, so like I said, Google it and it'll give you more information as to what a microburst is. Being out in nature, being out in the woods, that's one of my favorite things to do. We're really fortunate because it allows us to get out of the house without encountering any people. Of course, as you know right now, being around people is not a good thing. So we're very, very fortunate that we live where we do, that we're allowed to be able to do this, get out and get fresh air, get out into nature. I hear they call it forest bathing in some circles. To me, it's just being out in the woods. I don't need no fancy terminology to call it what I feel when I'm out here. So we're up close and personal with the trees that got hit by the microburst. Kind of amazing how some of them can just like bend over and yet not break. Oh wow, check that out. All of those trees over there just bent over. crazy. Oh, I think I see Bigfoot. Oh, looks like Marty stumbled upon some coral here in the woods. How often do you find coral this far away from the ocean? Just laying in the woods.
I mean, that's out of a fish tank. This is some type of like
Coral rock.
coral rock. This is like a lava rock.
And then
This is a really nice coral. I mean, it's real. What is this?
now what the heck is it doing here in the woods?
Who knows?
Okay, sightseers, so this is what caught my eye and why I was going up this way into the woods. And it looks like we stumbled on some more coral. So, can you believe this? This is like the strangest walk in the woods ever. I'm serious. You can't make this stuff up. This is like so bizarre. Who would have thought we would be discovering all these weird things today? I didn't. I thought we were just gonna like, you know, find the locations of some asparagus, wild asparagus, maybe listen to some tree frogs hatching, you know, the spring peepers in the background, and maybe some little critters, and that was it. But no, we got all this weird stuff going on. What would you even make of it if you were out walking in these woods? I really don't know what to make of it. It is just so weird. And I know I keep saying that. It is just so flippin' weird. So if you look, we've got like the whole remains of a fish tank set up here. The coral reef that would have once been inside a fish tank, probably somebody's saltwater tank. And it's just laying here, tossed all around in the woods. Unbelievable. Wow, another piece. This day just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Damn, that must have been some fish tank. Definitely no 10-gallon tank. Probably more like, what, 100-gallon tank? Based on the size of that coral.
I think there's more over here.
Marty's scoping out some more. Let's go on over there and see what else he finds.
Look out for the sea snake.
Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible. I'm walking around in this section of the woods to see if I can find any more telltale signs of that mysterious animal or beast, and so far I'm coming up with nothing. So I think Marty and I are going to start making our way back, because of course we got dogs at home that need tending, and in all honesty, with the sun setting, coming down, being out this late in the woods, I'm not so sure I want to be out here, especially after seeing what we saw today. It really puts a whole new perspective on what you can find out in the woods, and I think I'm going to be a little bit more cautious when I'm out hiking with Ty, out doing my activities, because you just never know what you might end up finding. when you're out in the woods. Behind me is the remains of one of the turkeys, and then over that direction